My name is Ella Jean, your local fantasy author, and it's important to note for today's video that I've been a writer for a very long time. Interesting thing about that is, I started writing in high school, specifically freshman year, when you're all awkward and stuff, and I have a book from that time. The first time I actually started writing, I sat down and wrote a 60,000 word book straight through. Don't know how I did it. I would spend the next 4 years trying to replicate that feat until I finally got Whispers in the Shadows written all the way through. It's rare to finish a book you start. I started this without an outline. I just wrote it. I don't know how I did this. Other note, I haven't read it since then. You see, little baby me, was very, very proud of this book and had a very, very fragile confidence. And she was very proud, only to then go back and reread it and get through one chapter and cry about how bad it is. I have better confidence now, so we're going to do something fun, which is we're going to read, the first 3 chapters of this book. And I'm going to point out how little Ella attempted to write, attempted to emulate the greats. She did not succeed, but she damn well tried. This video is for fun. I tried to record another reading vlog, and my phone decided to hate me. Don't know what that's about, so it is now 2 a.m. while I record another video so I have it up in time for next week. So we're just gonna have some fun. You're allowed to make fun of this. I am putting this out here because it is humorous to see what a first-time writer writes. However, please know that first-time writers are trying. I would say I'm later very proud to have started and to have tried, because it's what led me to the stories I have now, the stories I'm trying to publish, the stories that are good enough to publish. But now that I have the sermon out of the way, let's get into what you guys really want to see, which is what the hell did Baby Ella write? I want to say my first sentence has a grammar error. I've talked about that I'm not good at grammar. I've never been good at grammar. I rely on spell check for grammar. My first sentence is, I think everyone believes in magic when they're a child. They're as in Their. They are. It's supposed to be, I think everyone believes in magic when they are a child. That was the easy one. That's not even the complicated one of the other 2 theirs. Not that the other 2 theirs are that complicated, but that's the easy one to pick out. So this is going to be wonderful and lovely. Choices. I want you to remember, I am 14. I am 14 writing this story. Did I choose to write a YA novel like I would write for literally the rest of my life? All I write now is YA because I have a very childish way of putting stories together. That's just my personal opinion. My characters come out generally on the more childish side, so I may as well play to my strength. No, at 14 I said I'm going to write a 20-year-old college student. Someone tells you to grow up, that magic isn't real. You lose that sense of childish wonder and replace it with more socially acceptable wishes. It's really sad when you think about it. The fuck you talking about? Girl. Okay. For the record, my main character's name is Scarlett Smith. That sounds like a porn star name. Scarlett Smith is not like other girls, and she is introducing the idea of her roommate, because once she got inside the dorm, I quickly searched for Sam, one of my roommates. She wasn't here as usual. She's always off at some sort of party. Don't get me wrong, she's a perfectly nice girl. You're 14. You're 14, why are you saying that? Perfectly nice girl. Oh my god, I was actually in a not like other girls era. I have claim to that. I was in a... She's not like other girls. I don't go to parties. I study. You should know, 14-year-old Ella was like a straight A student. I cried if I got a B. I mean, we're talking... I haven't gotten even 1 page yet. I haven't gotten one page in. We may have to shorten this to one chapter. Something crashes in her room, and then she gets a knock on the door, and she's like panicking about the something crashing in her room, like normal response. Then she gets a knock on the door, and like goes to the knocking door first. What the fuck? I do remember the plot of this story. The plot of this story is, despite never reading Good Omens by Neil Gaiman, I somehow wrote Good Omens by Neil Gaiman. I don't have an answer, basically. We have Scarlett Smith. Random, not like other girl that is probably incredibly pretty and but like doesn't see it, all that. And she comes and gets an angel and a demon on her shoulder, not literally, they're normal sized, because she is going to decide who wins the apocalypse. Demons and angels have been fighting for centuries, but she is going to find, I think, Michael's sword. Makes sense. We'll get to that. That makes sense to me though. And they both hell and heaven send like a person, a demon and an angel, to go talk it out. Thing is, and I wouldn't reveal this until later, but I'm not rewriting this book, so you guys get to know now. I just purposely chose a demon that's a fallen angel because he's totally. Him and the angel were dating in heaven when they were both angels, because of course God doesn't care if you're gay. I was not subtle at the time. Not subtle now. Not subtle at the time and beat that sort of thing over the head. It was going to be a full God as a woman. Doesn't. Being gay is fine, being demon's bad, but being gay is fine. Yeah, they dated as angels, and then Exophon, because I had to choose a weird name, Exophon followed Lucifer to hell. So, like, this entire time is these two bickering because they're exes, but it's 14-year-old written bickering. 14-year-old didn't know I'm Ace Arrow yet. Romantic bickering. Oh my god. So Exophon just came out of her bedroom. My name is Exophon. It's a pleasure to meet you. The way he said it didn't seem sincere. I just stared at his hand, worried that I would hurt myself if I touched it. But he was insisting, so I gingerly grabbed it and gave it a small shake. You shake the motherfucker's hand? There is a demon standing before you. And he extends his clawed hand, and she goes, "It'd be polite." What the? This is almost so good that it's This is comedy. This is comedy. This is how I describe romantic attraction. This is the angel. Standing outside was a beautiful creature with blonde hair and stormy gray eyes. He was wearing a tan flight jacket pulled over a white shirt. He had on blue jeans and brown loafers. He was perfectly tan. In fact, everything about him was perfect. And that's where everything went wrong. He was too perfect. Everything a tad bit too much, making him seem unnatural. Of course, the fluffy white wings coming out of his back didn't help either. Girl, you described two things about his body. This is the beautiful man. He's blonde. Baratiel, the angel. I would doom myself because I wrote so many times I used Baratiel's name and it would always autocorrect. That for some reason my autocorrect trained that anytime I did a capital B, it was Baratiel. It was my school iPad. So I tried to write school things, and it would have Baratiel in them. Yeah, not the best idea. And you know what? Good girl. Scarlett is strong and independent. Actually, my name is Scarlett, and I would really like to know what you guys are doing in my dorm. The man with wings and the very clearly demon that just broke into her room. Both of them technically broke into her room, but just broke into her room. I have an English project to possibly work on, and more importantly, dinner to eat. You give these demons nothing. You give them nothing. And then Exophon starts eating her food. Natural route, I directly reference Supernatural a lot in this series. This was when I was watching Supernatural. Shocker, it's an angel and demon story. And I went the whole angels are just as much assholes. So Paradise says, you've been given a chance to make your worthless life mean something human. I wouldn't throw this away so quickly. Unfortunately, that thing is right. You can't just back down from this even if you wanted to. Exophon comes in. Did you just refer to me as a thing? A look of hurt rippling across his face. all the adjectives. Come on, Barry, that isn't what you used to call me. Oh my god. Oh my god, and then he attempts to give puppy dog eyes. His eyes are entirely white, that he has no people there, just cloudy white. Honestly, I think this is perfect. I think this book needs to be made, actually. I think 14-year-old me had an idea, and she was committed to it. She's stupid. So, we end with Sam getting home, her roommate, and end with the glorious line, I'm hardly able to do presentations in class by myself, much less end an apocalypse. Because yes, she had to be socially anxious. All Ella knew was socially anxious. All Ella still knows is almost socially anxious. We got 4 pages in, and the next chapter is just as long. We're actually just going to go through chapter 2 and then call it, because there's only so much shitty writing I can take. So Sam comes in. She had a tight black dress on and black high heels that I would have broken an ankle in. Her black hair was curled and her makeup was done. Because little Ella doesn't know what makeup looks like, and honestly doesn't like makeup at that point. And then, of course, Exafon can only be seen by Scarlet, because Scarlet's the important one. And Exafon says, what firebug? Do you really think that another human could actually see us? Looks like you're dumber than I thought. Oh my god, he gave her the nickname because Scarlet, and he keeps messing up her name this entire time. And he's like, yeah, doesn't your name have something to do with fire? It's Scarlet. Fire, red, close enough. And then comes in here and says, Exafon is not smart enough to remember names, so he just gives everything nicknames. And given that he called Baratiel Barry earlier, I love to imagine that Baratiel used to find this incredibly cute. When they were angels, like, oh my god, he keeps giving me all these nicknames. And now it's like, of course I hate this. I'd like to say, there are obviously a lot of, much minor problems going on. I nearly yelled at him, I was starting to panic, this was all too much for me to process. As a writer, that had very little emotion in it, that is very much telling instead of showing. I am not making the video for this. If you really want, I can copy this document and I can share it with everyone. Start a Discord and give it out. If that's the parts you want to be making fun of, I'm more than happy to go through a video. I'm more enjoying Kooky Ella attempting to write and be funny. Because yes, there are a lot of just small mistakes. If any of them get really bad, oh no. She's just accepted that magic is real, for the record. She wants them to leave, but she's like, yeah, you guys are real. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't know much about magic. It's not like I just realized that it was even real. Very complicated sentence. But, she's fully accepted that they're real. She's like, you just guys need to be gone. I don't give a shit. Magic's real? Cool, fine. I have college. Because I'm cool and edgy. She's not scared. She's a little worried. But she's not scared. She's not screaming in terror. Her world hasn't been shattered. She's just like, yeah, but I have normal things to get to. Oh my god. I've capitalized son like it's a proper noun. Don't know why I did that. Half the time, the right things aren't capitalized, but to capitalize son like it's a proper noun, of course. She's gone to bed. She's woken up. They aren't gone. No shit. What am I supposed to do now? It's not like I could look up what you do when an angel and demon show up and tell you to end their apocalypse. Decided to just try and go about my day like they didn't exist. Yeah, that's a sane plan. And she's lying and claiming she works on her English paper, which, if little Ella was meaning for it to be funny for the fact that she has not worked on this English paper, and is just using it as an excuse, very funny. Most likely she's just like, oh, you referenced English earlier. There's an English paper. Let's go. They kidnap her to take her to, meet magical things, because obviously she should know what to do about magical things, because obviously little Ella didn't know how to start this book. She got that, you couldn't just jump immediately into the adventure, that you couldn't just jump immediately into, oh, she's finding the thing that stopped the apocalypse. And part of the whole point is they don't know what stops the apocalypse. They just know she'll have a role in it. All of that. An important decision, the whole angel and demon on your shoulder. But the angel and demon on your shoulder was literally the starting point of this book for me. What would you do if instead of them coming up every important decision, what if it's just the most important decision in your life, spiraled out into a story of the apocalypse? However, little Ella didn't know how to get there, so right now we're just going to go off on little adventures. She's going to see old friends, because the angels just casually make friends with people. This one's less fun. Little Ella is failing, describe scenery well. We just jump from, like, leaving the campus to, like, immediately being like, we were walking down a street I didn't recognize. Easy escape. It was lined with nice houses. All of them looked old, like we made it to the historic district. She apparently has never explored her college town despite being 20, meaning she's a sophomore or junior. Finally, we turned on a driveway to a house that looked like all the others. You haven't described all the others, so that doesn't count as good. Depressing. It was 2 stories tall with balconies around the entire second floor. There was a large porch with a porch swing and a couple rocking chairs. The entire house was a light shade of blue. Why? Why? I know what we're about to go see. Why are we making... Why no the blue house? Okay. That's going to be where we end it. We're about to meet, I believe, a vampire. And then from there we meet some Morlocks and crap, because they, like... I'm pretty sure it's like both of them get to take her to meet someone, so it's the good and... I don't know. It's a fascinating thing to reread. If you want me to go through all of it, there are 120 pages that we just went through the first 10, 12 episodes. That's fine. Epilogue. There's 33 chapters. We made it through 2. Keep that in mind when you say you want more. But regardless, thank you so much for watching. There is my Blue Sky, the only really social media I have outside of YouTube, linked in the description. There are also some Fiverr gigs if you want me to beta read or sensitivity read your shit. But anyway, writing is difficult, and daring to continue after the first page is brave, especially the way the world is right now. I want to build a community with you, truly, because I think anyone can write, and everyone has a story in them. Thanks.